thanks to the strength of President Trump, we're able to cut this initial deal with China. China agreed to reduce their tariffs on the United States by 115%.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. For the first time in many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs, and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down. We're going to cut out the middlemen.
While the mainstream media was busy obsessing over illegal alien gang members and manufactured outrage this week, something absolutely historic was happening right under our noses. President Trump just pulled off what might be the most transformational week in modern presidential history, and the media is pretending that nothing ever happened. In just 7 days, Trump managed to prevent a nuclear war, slashed prescription drug prices up to 80%. He was able to end a massive trade war with China and secure trillions in foreign investments. Let me say that again, trillions with a T. This isn't politics as usual. This is what real leadership looks like, y'all. And today I'm going to break down exactly what happened and why the media is desperate to keep you from knowing about it.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today on 10th May at the time of Fajr, we have given a strong punch to our coward enemy.
Let's start with something that should have been front page news everywhere. India and Pakistan, two nuclear powers, were literally on the brink of war after Islamists killed 26 civilians in Kashmir. India responded with military strikes into Pakistan, and things were escalating fast. This is pretty much that nightmare scenario everyone has, folks. Two countries with nuclear weapons sliding toward an all-out conflict. And what happened next? While Biden would have probably been napping or eating ice cream, Trump stepped in and personally mediated throughout the night.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons. And they were going at it hot and heavy, and it was seemingly not going to stop. And I'm very proud to let you know that the leadership of India and Pakistan was unwavering, powerful, but unwavering in both cases. And having these, they really were, from the standpoint of having the strength and the wisdom and fortitude to fully know and to understand the gravity of the situation. And we helped a lot. And we helped also with trade. I said, come on, we're going to do a lot of trade with you guys. Let's stop it. Let's stop it. If you stop it, we're doing trade. If you don't stop it, we're not going to do any trade. People have never really used trade the way I used it, that I can tell you. And all of a sudden they said, I think we're going to stop.
Just like that, crisis averted. Armageddon stopped. No lengthy democratic process, no endless meetings and committees, just direct and decisive action that literally saved millions of people's lives. And yet, somehow this massive diplomatic victory barely made a blip on CNN or MSNBC. Remember when they used to say Trump would start World War III? Well, he just prevented it. And of course, they can't even acknowledge that. Like he said, he could cure cancer, and they would still portray him as the worst person in the world. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries and will no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging. For the first time in many years, we'll slash the cost of prescription drugs, and we will bring fairness to America. Drug prices will come down.
Next up, something that affects millions of Americans directly: prescription drug prices. For decades, politicians on both sides have talked about lowering drug costs. And of course, it was all talk and no action. Mainly because we found out that all the politicians are in Big Pharma's pocket. Then Trump steps in and signs what he calls the most aggressive executive order on drug pricing in American history. And he didn't just nibble around the edges. No. He went straight for the jugular of the entire corrupt system.
We're going to cut out the middlemen and facilitate the direct sale of drugs at the most favored nation price directly to the American citizen. I'm just so grateful to be here today. I never thought that this would happen in my lifetime.
This is the most powerful executive order on pharmacy pricing and healthcare ever in the history of our nation. By getting our allies to pay a bit more, we'll course correct a problem that's gotten out of hand.
We're standing up for the American consumer who's been paying far too high prices for far too long.
We didn't take an oath to heal patients and then watch their life get ruined financially. We're going to do everything we can at the FDA to support this executive order. It's transformative. Thank you, Mr. President.
That's right. Americans have been paying 59 to 90% more for the exact same medications that people in other countries get for a fraction of the price. We've been subsidizing the entire world's healthcare while our own citizens struggle to afford their medicines. And Trump just said, no more. This isn't just about saving a few bucks here and there. This is about fundamentally restructuring a system that's been ripping off Americans for generations. And where was the wall-to-wall media coverage? Nowhere to be found.
I'm happy to report that we made substantial progress between the United States and China in the very important trade talks.
While all this was happening, Trump's team was in Geneva, negotiating what might be one of the most significant trade deals in recent history. After years of escalating tariffs under Biden that drove up prices for everyday Americans, Trump's administration managed to secure a massive breakthrough with China. U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods dropped from 145% to just 30%. China's tariffs on American products slashed from 125% to 10%. That's a 115% reduction on both sides in one negotiation.
Let's talk about the stock market, which was booming today after the announcement between the United States and China about a pause on tariffs, climbing more than 1,100 points at the closing bell today. Of course, for more on this, let's go out to Doug Luzader, who gives us a little bit of an understanding of what happened and why the markets moved so well.
This happened very quickly over the weekend as talks between the two countries moved forward in Switzerland and early this morning.
The markets immediately responded because, unlike the talking heads on TV, investors understand what this actually means. Lower prices for consumers, more exports for American businesses, and a path toward balanced trade that works for both countries. Remember when they said Trump's trade policies would destroy America's economy? Well, he just fixed the mess that Biden created. And somehow the media can't seem to find time to cover it.
One of his trip to Saudi Arabia, he's there with the Crown Prince. And we know his remarks are just a few seconds away. And we've been anticipating this moment. Look, the world is watching this event. And if you have any doubts about that, the president has said, and this is in the very early stages, but he has said, it's a possibility now that an enemy, the leader of Syria, could show up in Saudi Arabia to meet with President Trump and the Saudi Crown Prince. I mean, the world not only is watching, they're paying attention. They understand this moment. Jason.
I have been in this building where President Trump is. It's one of the most remarkable buildings in the entire world. It truly is. This is historic. This sends a real signal. Not only is Donald Trump is flexing the economic might of the United States of America. He's forging relationships.
But Trump was just getting started. He boarded Air Force One and headed to the Middle East, a region that's been plagued by conflict and mismanagement for decades, even centuries. And what he did there wasn't just diplomacy, it was a complete paradigm shift in how America approaches the world.
And it's crucial for the wider world to note this great transformation has not come from Western interventionists or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing to develop Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves. Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
That's right. This is the reason why the establishment hates Trump. He's calling out the entire failed foreign policy that both parties have pushed for decades. The endless wars, the nation building, the lecturing of other countries about how to live, all of it. Instead, Trump offered something radical: respect. Respect for other nations' sovereignty and traditions. And guess what? It worked. The results speak for themselves. $600 billion in investments from Saudi Arabia, a $1.2 trillion agreement with Qatar, the sale of 210 American-made Boeing jets, 400 GE aerospace engines, and $200 billion in deals with the UAE. That's trillions of dollars flowing into the American economy, and hundreds of thousands of American jobs secured in a single week. If Biden or any Democrat had accomplished even a fraction of this, we'd never hear the end of it, would we? It'd be running 24/7 on every single channel. But when Trump does it, complete media blackout. So let's recap what Trump accomplished in just 7 days. He prevented a potential nuclear war. He slashed prescription drug prices for Americans up to 80%. He ended a destructive trade war with China. He secured trillions of dollars in foreign investments and created a pathway for lasting peace in the Middle East. After 4 years of Biden sleepwalking through history, Trump pulled off in 1 week what would take most presidents 2 full terms just to accomplish, if they could even do it at all. This wasn't politics as usual. This was a complete reset of American leadership on the world stage. No empty rhetoric, no virtue signaling, no weakness, just results. And the media's silence tells you everything you need to know. They're terrified because Trump's proving that everything that they've been saying about him was a lie. He's not the chaos agent that they portrayed. He's actually the solution to the chaos that they helped create. So if you're wondering why you didn't hear about any of this in the news, well, now you know. And that's why you tune in to the 9/10 podcast, where possession is 9/10 of the law. Go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe. Peace.